Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. You know, our ways of communicating with others has changed dramatically over the last few years. When my wife and I were first married, my parents lived overseas, and an airmail letter would take at least a week to reach them. If we shipped a box by surface shipment, it could take 3 months. An overseas telephone call back then cost $8 a minute if you could connect through the multiple international operators you had to go through to make the call go through. Now, my friends on multiple continents can watch this video within minutes of me posting it for free. My rotary dial telephone is no longer permanently attached to the wall of my house. My phone fits in my pocket and takes and sends pictures and videos worldwide in seconds. The way we talk to each other, the way we communicate has changed drastically and dramatically in just a few years. And then we have some instructions from the Apostle Paul about getting along with one another. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and I'm reading verses 11 and 12, from the New Living Translation, 2nd edition, he says, "Make it your goal to live a quiet life, minding your own business and working with your hands, just as we instructed you before. Then people who are not believers will respect the way you live, and you will not need to depend on others." He tells us to live a quiet life. That means just because you can say something does not mean that you have to. Just because you disagree with someone does not mean that that needs to be an internet shouting match between you and them. Live a quiet life, a peaceful life. And then he says to mind your own business. What beautiful advice to hear from the Apostle Paul. To mind our own business. See, it's not our job to be the morals police. It's not our job to tell other people what they're supposed to be doing. Share the scripture, certainly. Teach the gospel, definitely. But get in the midst of the lies of others? No. He says, mind our own business. Then he recommends that we work with our hands. Whether we do that as a job or as our off-hours hobby, we need to work with our hands. Plant things, dig some dirt, create and repair with your hands. Do things that are physical. Paul sewed tents together, took large pieces of canvas and heavy thread and a big needle and sewed them together. He was a tent maker. Paul says when you work with your hands and you mind your own business and you live a quiet life, that builds the respect of others. If you know who you are and you're comfortable with who you are, you don't have to demand others agree with you. You can just be you and let them be them. And you build the respect of others by the way that you quietly treat them. Live in such a way that others will have respect for you. He reminds us that we need to be dependent upon ourselves and dependent upon God, not use and abuse others and use and abuse their generosity to earn our own way. May you and I make someone proud today by our quiet demeanor, by our self-sufficiency, and by the way we mind our own business. God bless you.